Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss the concept of parallelogram law of vectors. Before going to the concept of parallelogram law of vectors, let me give one example which makes this law very clear. Okay, you consider a car. On this car, I am applying a force P bar along this direction. Now, in which direction will the car move? The car will move along the direction of P bar. Now, instead of P bar, I am applying a force Q bar along this direction. Now, in which direction will the car move? If we don't consider the effect of weight, this car will move along the direction of Q bar. Now, what I am doing? I am applying these two forces, P bar and Q bar, at same point, both at a time. Now, the point is, in which direction will the car move? Will the car move along direction of P bar, or will the car move along the direction of Q bar? No. The point is, the car will not move along the direction of P bar or along the direction of Q bar. It will move in some other direction. The next point is, what will be the net effect of these two forces? Okay, to know about the direction in which the car moves and to know the net effect of these two forces, we'll use parallelogram law of vectors. Okay, to make this concept still clear, you should know three other points. What are those three other points? The first point is, the length of the line represents the magnitude of the vector. Means if you take this as a vector, the length of this line represents the magnitude. Means now if I draw a one more vector whose length is more, that means that this vector, that other vector magnitude is more. Okay, the effect of that vector is more. Okay, next, displacing a vector parallel to itself leaves the vector unchanged. What does it mean? It means that if this is a vector, now I can shift this vector to any point in my plane for my usage such that the direction should be parallel and its length should not change. Okay, next, what is the third point? When two tails coincide, smaller angle is the angle between two vectors. So you already know that this is called as head and this is called as tail. Okay, now here you can observe that the tail of Q bar and the tail of P bar both coincided. Okay, now when two tails coincide, this smaller angle will be the angle between two vectors. Okay, now let us see how we apply these 3 points to our present context. Now I'll shift this vector P bar parallelly along this direction, that is along OA. Similarly, I'll shift this vector Q bar parallelly along this direction, that is along OB. Okay. Next, I'll draw a line AC parallel to OB such that AC is equal to, the length of AC is equal to OB. That is, this length will be equal to Q. Similarly, I'll draw a line line BC parallel to OA such that this length is equal to P, which is nothing but the magnitude of P bar. Okay. Since OB is parallel to AC, that means this angle will be equal to theta. This angle will be equal to theta, which is nothing but the angle between two vectors P bar and Q bar. Okay. I'll extend A up to N. From C, I'll drop a normal onto N. Since this is normal, so this angle will be equal to 90 degrees. Okay. Now, if you observe this OACB, this is a parallelogram where our vectors P bar and Q bar represent the two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Okay. Now let us go to the statement. What is a statement of parallelogram law of vectors? What does it state? It states that if two vectors are drawn from a point, so this P bar and Q bar are two vectors drawn from the point O, so as to represent the adjacent sides of a parallelogram. That means this P bar and Q bar represent the adjacent sides of the parallelogram OACB. Okay, both in magnitude and direction. So this P bar and Q bar represent the two vectors both in magnitude and direction. That means we didn't vary the length and we didn't change the direction. So this P bar and Q bar represents the both vectors both in magnitude and direction. Okay. Then the diagonal of the parallelogram drawn from the same point represents the resultant. So this diagonal R bar drawn from the same point O represents the resultant of these two vectors both in magnitude and direction. Okay, that means the resultant of this P bar and Q bar will be along this direction, which is nothing but the diagonal of this parallelogram. Okay, this R bar represents the resultant both in magnitude and direction. And let alpha be the angle made by the resultant with P bar. Okay, once again I am studying this statement. What does the parallelogram law of vector states? If two vectors are drawn from a point so as to represent the adjacent sides of a parallelogram both in magnitude and direction, the diagonal of the parallelogram drawn from the same point represents the resultant of the two vectors both in magnitude and direction. Okay, this is the statement of parallelogram law of vectors. Now let us derive the expression for the resultant and angle made by the resultant with P bar. Okay. Now consider the triangle CNA. CNA. This is a right angle triangle. In this right angle triangle, if you apply cos theta, you will get that cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. That is equal to AN by AC. From that, AN will be equal to AC cos theta, where AC is nothing but Q. So this is AC, which is nothing but Q. So finally I can write AN as Q cos theta. Similarly, if I apply sin theta in the right angle triangle ANC, I'll get sin theta is equal to Cn or NC by AC. Okay, then NC will be equal to AC sin theta. NC will be equal to AC sin theta. AC means this, which is again Q. Okay, so NC will be equal to Q sin theta. Okay, now let us consider the right angle triangle ONC. ONC. This is a right angle triangle. Now if we apply Pythagoras theorem to this right angle triangle, we will get OC square, which is nothing but hypotenuse. OC square is equal to ON square plus NC square. Okay, OC square is equal to ON square plus NC square. This ON can be written as OA plus AN. Okay, so OC square is equal to ON square plus NC square. This ON can be written as OA plus AN. And finally, you will get OC square is equal to OA plus AN whole square plus NC square. Now, if you apply the formula A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB, OA plus AN whole square can be written as OA square plus 2OA ON plus AN square. Okay, we know that OA is equal to P. OM is this. OA is equal to P and AN is equal to Q cos theta and NC is Q sin theta. Now if you apply all this, you will get R square is equal to P square plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q cos theta whole square plus Q sin theta whole square. Now in these two, what I'll do, I'll take Q square common. If I take Q square common, I'll get Q square is Q. If I take Q square common, I'll get R square is equal to P square plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square into cos square theta plus sin square theta. We already know that cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1. So I'll get R square is equal to P square plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square. Now if this square goes here, you'll get R is equal to root or P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, which is the expression for the resultant vector of, which is the expression for the magnitude of the resultant vector of these two vectors P bar and Q bar. Now let us try to calculate the angle made by the resultant with P bar. Okay. Now consider the triangle ONC, which is the right angle triangle. Now to this right angle triangle, if I apply tan alpha is nothing but the opposite side by adjacent side. That is NC or CN by ON. Okay. This is ON. This ON can be written as OA plus AN. Then tan alpha will be equal to CN by OA plus AN. We already know that Cn can be written as Q sin theta and An can be written as Q cos theta. So finally, tan alpha can be written as Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. Okay, this is the formula for the angle made by the resultant R bar with P bar. Now, if we consider alpha as the angle made by the resultant with Q bar, okay, this angle, then tan alpha will be equal to P sin theta by Q plus P cos theta.
If you feel that this video is useful, kindly share to your friends. If you have any doubts or suggestions, you can comment me in the comment section. Do like and subscribe because your single like and comment will encourage me for making better videos. Thank you.